Well, there's no question we all fall victim to constantly checking our phones with notifications and alerts, regularly fighting for our attention. But Apple may actually be looking to make our devices less distracting. Yahoo Finance's tech editor, Dan Halley, has the details. Dan, I'm a little confused. Doesn't it help Apple for us to be distracted by the device because we use it more?
It does and it doesn't, right? Apple kind of wants to ensure that people use their devices, but doesn't want them to be seen as a distraction that then has negative connotations for the overall brand. But I managed to speak with Apple's Craig Federighi. He is, of course, the VP of Software Engineering, Senior VP of Software Engineering, I should say, as well as Alan Dye. He's Apple's VP of Human Interface. And they basically explained how they're using this thing called widgets, which have been around for a while, but are now being integrated into Apple's ecosystem, basically across the board, as a means of providing people with information without them necessarily being kind of shoved down people's throats as notifications. So think, you're at work, you have Slack, we have email, we have everything going back and forth, and you just have a deluge of notifications. The idea here, though, is to kind of cut back on that, allow people to get information when they want to through these widgets, and then they don't necessarily end up going down rabbit holes if they have that information immediately available on their home screen, on their iPhone, on their Mac, or on their Apple Watch. And that's generally the thinking here. You'd be able to go to your home screen, be able to see if you're driving or if you're getting an Uber, where your Uber is in the dynamic island. If you're following fantasy football and losing to your wife like I am, you'd be able to get that in the dynamic island as well. The weather, your calendar, all of those can exist as widgets. And so the thinking is, you get all of that data right there, rather than having to dive into individual apps. Then for, whatever reason, you end up on Reddit reading about, I don't know, the Revolutionary War for an hour and a half. So, it's about keeping people more, I guess, in line with what they actually need, rather than ending up having them go down these rabbit holes. And it's an interesting way for them to design products, right? They're, as you said, you would think it would help them if people were using their devices nonstop. But for Apple, it seems they want people to get information when they want to, not when apps want them to.
Okay, we'll see if it works. I will fully admit to being distracted on my phone all the time. And also
Constantly.
The tabs. Dan, they've got to find a way to get rid of the tabs, right? I've got like 40 tabs up right now, but that is for another story. Dan Halley, thanks so much for that.